Hey, hi. So welcome to 10th Maths course. We are going to do coordinate geometry today, and we'll try to finish the chapter off in one go. So let's start coordinate geometry. Chapter number 7, 6 marks in the boards. First of all, in the coordinate geometry, let's understand the name coordinate geometry. See, everywhere in the plane, there is a plane where you get the position. You have done coordinate geometry in class 9th. So we have a position like 2, comma 3, like x is 2 and y is 3. Now, x is called abscissa, you have done this, and y is called ordinate. When you combine the two, it is called coordinates. That is what coordinate means. Geometry means you are going to measure different things using these coordinates. Okay, so that is coordinate geometry, the title of the chapter. Now, what are we going to talk about? Two topics, major two topics that we're going to talk about in this chapter. One is your distance formula, and the other one is section formula. There are various topics under the two categories. In the distance formula, that will be for the first exercise. Section formula will be the second exercise. So let's start the first exercise then. Distance formula. Now, what is distance formula? See, suppose you have 2 points here. Let's say there are 2 points. One over here, x1, comma y1, and one is over here, x2, comma y2. And I want to figure out the distance. This distance, oh, okay. This distance between the 2 points. So as you can see, this distance right over here is x1, and I have went vertically up y1. So x1 and this is y1. Similarly, for this case, the second case, if I'll see, this guy is y2, this whole is y2, and this whole guy is x1 because that's how you locate a point. Now, if I ask you that if I join these 2 points like this, it's a right angle triangle I'm getting. What is this length? If you see clearly that this whole is x1, sorry, this whole is x2 and this whole is x1. So this will be x2 minus x1. You remove this guy, you'll get this part, which is equal to the upper part. Similarly, this whole is y2 and this is y1. So this is also y1. y2 minus y1 will be this length then. If you remove this length, you will get this part, right? Now, if you see distance is nothing but hypotenuse of a right angle triangle, which is hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. And there is a square, so here will be distance. Square root, usually what we do, we write the x coordinate first. So in books, you may see the x coordinate first. And this is my distance formula, which I've just derived it instead of mugging it up. Now, there are multiple things that to understand here, that it doesn't matter if you write x1 minus x2, the order doesn't matter. You can write this also. This is also fine. This is also fine. Doesn't matter. That's why the better formula to learn is difference of abscissas, x coordinates, abscissas का square plus difference of ordinate का square. ये होता है the distance between 2 points. The better way to learn this. Okay, now we know what is distance formula. We are going to dive into it. The first question of the NCERT. Exercise 7.1. Let's do a couple of questions. Let's do the first question, first part, that is 2, comma 3 and 4, comma 1. We have to find the distance. You know the formula, that is the difference of the x coordinate, 4 minus 2. You can write 2 minus 4 also, doesn't matter. 1 minus 3 square. So that is 2 square plus minus 2 square. That is 4 plus 4, which is 2 times 4. So 4 will come out. That is 2. Root 2 is the distance between them, 2 root 2 units. In a similar fashion, we can do the second part. Let's say minus 5, comma 7 and minus 1, comma 3. And we have to find the distance between these two. So you know the formula, that is x2 minus x1. So you write whichever one you want to write first. Minus 1 and minus of the formula and minus of this guy. Very silly mistake students do over here. So 3 minus 7 ka square. So this will be minus 1 and minus 1 is plus 5. Be very careful about this, and minus 4 square. So this is 4 square and this is minus 4 is 16. So 16 and 16, which is 2 times 16. And if it's 2 times 16, inside the square root, 16 square root is 4. So 4 root 2 is the answer. Now a comma b and minus a comma b. So a comma b and minus a comma b. If you want to minus a comma minus b, again same thing. So x1 minus x2 or x2 minus x1, you minus a plus square plus b minus b ka square. Don't forget there are two minuses. So a plus a ka square, and here it is b plus b ka square. And this guy will be 2a ka square. And this guy will be 2b ka square. So this will be 4a square plus 4b square. 4 will be common. So a square plus b square, and 4 came out common. And then 4 square it is 2. So 2 root a square plus b square. In a way, if you want to picture this, there's nothing but the positive, both positive are here in the first quadrant and both are negative in the third quadrant itself. And that is the distance that you have calculated actually, which is twice of root a square plus b square. Okay, this is if you want to picture this. Okay. So all the three parts are done. Let's move on. Okay, next concept is the distance from origin. Distance from origin, very easy and very, very important also. Suppose there is origin, we have to find the distance of this point from that. You know the distance formula, that is x2 minus x1. So x minus 0 ka square plus y minus 0 ka square, which is nothing but square root x square plus y square. Yes, I am going to be a bit fast in this video because we have to do the entire chapter in one shot. Okay, so we are going to do everything in one thing. Okay, one video itself. So you can slow down the speed of the video from the settings. Okay, if you want to. The distance will be root x square plus y square. So if that is the case, that is for the distance from the origin. So there's these 2 points and we have to calculate the distance from the origin. So because 0, 0 is the origin. So x square plus y square only you do. So when you do 36 square, I think 1 to 2, 9, 6. 36, 21, 60, 18, 3 is 9, 10, 6, 1, 2, 9, 6. Yes, it is correct. 1, 2, 9, 6 plus 225. So you do 1, 2, 9, 6 plus 225, we get 11, 10, 12, 1, 5, 2, 1 we get, right? Ring is being ranking. So we got 1521 and 1521 is the square root of 39. So 39 is the distance from origin to this point. Now let's go to the next concept, collinearity. See, 3 points are said to be collinear. What do we mean by collinear? In the same straight line. They are said to be collinear. Let's say if A, B, B, C. If the sum of any two sides is equal to the third side, or AC plus BC, any two sides sum should be equal to the third one. Any two sides sum should be equal to the third one. If any of them, or that's why I applied or, satisfies, then the points will be A, B, and C will be collinear. Or if you don't want to write all this, you can write sum of any two distances is equal to the third one. Equal to the third one. If that is the case, then the points are collinear. For example, let me take an example so that is pretty much clear. Let's say I'm doing a question. I'm taking 3 points, minus 3, 5, 3, 1, and 0, 3. These are the points I want to check whether they are collinear or not. So let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. If I find AB, the difference of x coordinate square, right? Difference of y coordinate square. So minus x square is 36, and this is 4. 4 square is 16. That is root 52, which is 13 into 4, which is 2 root 13. If I go for BC, that is 3 minus 0 square is 9. 1 minus 3 square, that is 4. So root 13. If I go for AC, that is AC. So I will get minus 3 minus 0 square plus 5 minus 2, that is 2 square. So again, we are getting 9 plus 4, which is root 13. Can you see that root 13 plus root 13 is 2 root 13? That is AC plus BC, we are getting equal to AB. Since the sum of any two sides is equal to the third one, so yes, these 3 points are collinear. That's how we check collinearity. Let's go for the NCERT question then. So this is the stuff for collinearity or option. Any two distances, this one. We are going to do this one, which is question number 3. You have to check whether these points are collinear. So if you want to check whether these points are collinear, let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. So we are going to take AB first. So 1 minus 2 ka square plus 5 minus 3 ka square. So this will be 1 minus 2 square, that is minus 1 square. And this is 2 square. So which is 1 plus 4, which is root 5. If I go for BC, so this will be root 2 minus 2, that is 4, minus minus will be plus. 3 minus minus it will be 14, 14 square, that is 16 plus 196. So if I add them up, what will I get? I will get 212, isn't it? I'll get 212, 14 and 2, 16. Now if I go for AC, if I go for beta, 1 minus minus is plus. So 3 square, then 5 minus minus plus 16 square, right? So this guy will be 9 plus, I think it is 256, right? So this will be 265. In any dimension whatsoever in any universe, you cannot find the sum of 2 is equal to the third one. So you'll write since sum of any two sides, sum of any two distances, sum of any two distances is not equal to third distance. So they are not collinear. Very easy. Okay, let's move ahead to the fourth question. See, the question says check whether it's an isosceles triangle. So on the triangle base, they will ask certain question. First, they will ask whether triangle is possible or not. Triangle possibility. Second thing, they will ask prove what kind of a triangle. If it is possible, if possible, what kind of a triangle it is. Is it an isosceles triangle? Is it a right triangle? Is it an equilateral triangle? Or is it a scalene triangle? In the isosceles triangle, the two sides will be equal. Two sides equal. Any two sides, be it this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one, this one. Right triangle, if the square of one side is equal to the sum of the squares of the two sides, it will be right triangle. Equilateral triangle, all the three sides are equal. Scalene triangle, or are different. So these things it can ask in these questions. Triangle possibility, first of all. See, triangle is only possible we have done in class 6 and 7. The sum of any two sides is greater than the third side. Is greater than third side. Third side. Now here it is not or condition. Here it is and condition. अगर sum of two sides is greater than the third side, सब में होना चाहिए, सब में कोई से भी आप दो लो और वो तीसरे से ग्रेटर होना चाहिए, एंड होना चाहिए. कोलिनैरिटी की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, उसमें और होता है कोई सा भी, लेकिन इसमें तीनों सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए. या फिर आपका ऐसा हो कि ए बी प्लस ए सी ग्रेटर देन ए सी, ये तीनों चेकआउट होने चाहिए. सम ऑफ एनी टू साइड्स, एनी का मतलब ये हो गया कि सारे सेटिस्फाई होने चाहिए. चलो एक क्वेश्चन करते हैं, सो दैट इज प्रीटी मच क्लियर. See, this is a question. Do these points form a triangle? So let's find out. Let's this A, B, and C. So if I find A, B, that is 3 minus minus 2, 3 minus plus हो जाएगा. So 5 का square, and 2 minus minus that will plus again 5 का square. So 25 plus 25, which is 2 times 25. 25 will come out 5 root 2, right? Okay. Now I will do BC. BC will be what? BC is minus 2, which is minus 4 square, minus 3, which is minus 6 square. So this will be 16 plus 36, so root 52, which is 13 into 2, 13 into 4. So 4 came out, 2 root 13. The next, third one, AC. AC will be 3 minus 2, that is 1 square, and 2 minus 3 is minus 1 square. So this will come out to be 1 plus 1, which is root 2. As you can see clearly, 13 is bigger than 5 and root 2 also. If I take sum of AB plus what? Plus I take this root 2 AC. This will come greater than BC. If you take any one, okay, any. If you take AB plus AC, again this will come out greater than AB plus AC, no, AB plus BC. अगर आप AB और BC को सम करेंगे 6 √2 होगा, वो 2 √13 से ग्रेटर है. 2 × √13, 2 × 3 point something, दैट इज 6 point something. और यहाँ पे 5 और ये अगर ऐड करेंगे 6 हो जाएगा. और फिर उसमें ये 1.314 वो वैल्यू भी ऐड मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो बड़ी वैल्यू आएगी. आई थिंक दैट इज प्रीटी ऑब्वियस. सो AB plus BC is greater than AC, and you will check for the other guy also, AC plus, if you do BC, you will get greater than AB. All three are satisfying. Okay, if you don't believe me, you can plug in the value, though that if we don't plug in the value, that is also fine. If I show you in the NCERT, they must have plugged in the value. In the exam, they will give the value, don't worry. So here you can see 7.07, right? Here 7.21, here 1.41. So you can see the sum of any two is greater than the third one. Sum of these two is greater than the third one. Sum of these two is greater than the third one. Sum of these two, 8.48, is greater than 7.21. So all sum of any two distances is greater than the third one. Therefore, it is a triangle. So triangle is possible. Yes. Now they have also asked one thing. But what kind of, it's so name the type of triangle formed. Beta, if you check, what was my AB? AB was root 50 if I have to call out. This is simplified version. BC if I have to call out root 52. And AC if I have to call out, this was root 2. The square of these two, AB square plus AC square, is what? Root 50 square is 50 and root 2 square is, square में रूट हट जाते हैं, 52 आ गया. और अगर AC BC का स्क्वायर करूं तो देखो root 52 का स्क्वायर is 52. So both are coming equal. That is, square of one side is equal to the sum of the squares of the two sides. And when that happens, I have told you that is a right angle triangle. It is a right angle triangle. Angle triangle. Okay, right angle triangle. So that's how we do such question. The possibility means the sum of any two distances should be greater than the third one. Okay, so now we can move on to the next question. Check whether these points are the vertices of an isosceles triangle. So we'll find the distances. Let's say AB, A, B, C. So if we find 5 minus 6, that is minus 1 square. Minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6 square. So 1 plus 36, which is root 37. If you go for BC, you get 6 minus 7, that is minus 1. I'm doing directly. I hope that is clear. 4 minus will become plus. So 6 square, that is again 1 plus 36, so root 37. Already I can see there's an isosceles triangle. AC, we're trying to find 5 minus 7, that is minus 2 square. And minus 2 minus plus, which will be 0 square. So the root 2 square, 4, 2. So you can see that these two are equal. So you will write, since AB is equal to BC, it is an isosceles triangle. Triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Is an isosceles triangle. So that is done. Let's move ahead to the next question. Name the type of quadrilateral. So you have to tell what kind of a quadrilateral. See, if it is a parallelogram, so opposite sides are equal. You have to show opposite sides are equal. If it is a parallelogram, but not a rectangle, you have to show. Because rectangle and diagonals are equal also. So इसमें आपको क्या show करना पड़ेगा? That opposite sides, let's say we have a quadrilateral ABCD. So you will show that AB is equal to CD and AD is equal to BC, but AC is not equal to BD. Diagonals equal नहीं होंगे अगर वो not a rectangle करना है. अगर rectangle prove करना है तो opposite sides भी equal and my diagonals will also be equal. And AC is equal to BD. If you have to show it is a rhombus, you will show that all the four sides are equal. And if you have to show that it is a rhombus but not a square, you will show that all the four sides are equal, but diagonals are not equal. And if you have to show that it is a square, so you will show that all the four sides are equal. You will get a hang of it. You don't have to mug these up. I will tell you a trick so that you can do everything. So whenever you get questions like these, you find all the 6 distances, A, B, B, C, C, D, and AD, AC, BD. So whenever you try this, You will get to know using this table that what is going on, right? So this is a pretty good thing that I've written down over here. So name the type of quadrilateral if formed any. अगर कोई ट्राई क्वाड्रिलेटरल बन रहा है तो आप बताएं क्या क्वाड्रिलेटरल बनेगा. जैसे पहला देखें तो -1, -2, 1, 0, and here we have the points are 1, 0, -1, -2, and -3, 0. Now let's say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Remember this kind of figure. Now we have to see what kind of a quadrilateral it will be, if any. Now always find six sides: A, B, B, C, C, D. To find A, B, B, C, C, D, D, A, and the diagonals AC and BD. You have to find these things. So first let's go for AB. So there's a difference of x, right? So difference of x square, difference of y square. So this will become -2 square, which is 4. 4 plus 4, which will become √8, which is 2 √2. Now let's go for BC. Now if you go for BC, we'll get 1 minus minus will come +2, 2 square, and 0 minus 1, 2 square again. So this will become 4 plus 4, which is 8. So again, 2 √2. Now if we go for the C, that is CD, we will see -1 and minus minus will come plus. So it will be 2 square only. And -2 minus 0, that is again 4 minus 2 square. So this is 4 plus 4, which is again 2 √2. Now if we go for AD, so -1 minus minus will come plus, so 2 square, and again -2 square. So this will be again 2 √2. So all the four sides are 2 √2. So definitely either it is a square or a rhombus. That will depend on the diagonals. So let's check the diagonals. AC. So -1, -1, minus minus plus. So it will be 0 square. -2 and I'm sure this is the point. Let me check. There is no minus over here. There was no minus here. So we have to correct it because it was coming 0. How can the side be 0? That means there is some corrections. So BC, we will check 0 minus 2 square. 0 minus 2 square is the same thing. So it will not change that much. Let's go for CD. So 2 square, that will not change that much. AD -1, -1 is +2, -2, and 0, it will also not change. So everything is fine, but now let's check what is AC. -1 plus 1 is 0 square, and -2 and -2 square. So this is -4 square, which is 16. And 16 square is square root is 4. Now let's calculate BD. If we go for BD, this will be 1 minus minus plus, so 4 square, and 0 is 0. So 4 square root is 4. So we are getting diagonals also equal. So definitely the square. Since all four sides are equal, AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA, and my AC is equal to BD. That's why we'll say what? We'll say it is a square. Now, moving to the next part. This is the second part. Second part. If I show you the second part here, these 3 points are in fact collinear. These 3 points are in fact collinear. So we'll check -3, 5, -3, 5 is right over here. 3, 1, 1, 3, 1 is right over here, and 0, 3 is right over here. So I saw that everything, these 3 lines are on same straight. They are collinear. -1, -4 will lie somewhere here or somewhere here. Okay, somewhere here. So a quadrilateral is not possible, a triangle is possible. So they said if a quadrilateral is possible. So though it is not possible. So sir, how are we going to show that? We have already done this question if you know. Let me show you. Took an example in the collinearity here. If you remember this one. Do you remember this one? So when we did the concept of collinearity, let me bring it to that slide so that it's better and you can see what is going on. So over here, if I will show you. So here also, if you start finding all the things, you will see that AB came out 2 √13. The AC came out √13, and this guy BC came out, if you remember, BC came out root 13. So my BC plus AC is equal to AB, right? That's why, see, BC plus AC is equal to AB. And that's why they are collinear. So my quadrilateral is not possible in this one. Either you show by diagram also, that is also fine. Okay. So let's move on to the third part, which will be your homework. You will see what kind of a parallelogram, is it a rhombus, is it a rectangle, what it is. Okay. This was special, so that's why I've discussed about it. Now let's move on to the seventh question. Find the point on x-axis. All the points on x-axis have y as 0. You switch on the fan. Okay. And there are 2 points, 2 comma minus 5, and over here minus 2 comma 9. Now it is equidistant from these 2 points. That means this is equal to this, equidistant and equal distance. So that's pretty easy. Let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. You know that AB is given equal to AC, right? So sometimes what happens when you calculate this formula, y2 minus y1 square here, and here also x2 minus x1 y2 minus y1. So what will gonna happen eventually that you're gonna have square roots. So what students like to do instead of doing the squaring both sides later on, they do the squaring on the very first step so that they don't have to deal with the square roots. So when you do squaring both sides, what will happen now? You don't have to deal with the square roots. Though eventually you have to square them, so it's better you square them in the very first step. Now if you apply x2 minus x1, that is x minus 2 का square root won't be there because we have squared of both the sides, and 0 minus minus is plus 5 ka square. AC, that is x minus minus x plus 2 ka square, and 0 minus 9, that is minus 9 ka square. Now let's see what we are getting. We are getting x square plus a square plus b square minus 2ab, and 25 is there. Again, a square plus b square, 2 ka square 4 plus twice into 2 into x plus 81. Now let's see what is cancelling out. X square is cancelling out, 4 is cancelling out, as you can see. Now bring all the variable on one side, constant on the other side. So 25 here, 81 here. And this is 2 to 4x minus 4x will become plus 4x here. So minus 56, this will be 8x. So x will come out to be minus 56 by 8, which is minus 7. So value of x is minus 7 and the point will be minus 7 comma 0. So that's how the equidistant type is to be done. This is another type of question, equidistant. Okay. So now there is an example also something like that. As you can see, now we have a point on y-axis. Now whenever the point is on y-axis, it's of the form 0 comma y, and it is equidistant from a, that is 6 comma 5, and we have b, that is minus 4 comma 3. So again, oh, let's name them different. Okay, they have already given the name, so we have to change the name to ourselves. So PA is equal to PB. So again, you can write that PA square is equal to PB square. So 0 minus 6 ka square, and over here y minus 5 ka square, and over here 0 minus minus 4 is plus 4 ka square, and y minus 3 ka square. So minus 6 ka square is 36, y minus 5 ka square. So a square plus b square minus 2ab, I'm writing directly. A square plus b square minus 2ab. Now cancel y square is cancelling out. 16 plus 9 is 25, will cancel out with 25. Now what will happen? We'll take this constant and all the variable on the other side. So minus 10y will come plus 10y minus 6y, right? So now this is 36, this is 4y. So y will come out to be 36 by 4, which is 9. So 0, 9 we are getting. Let's check the answer. Is it correct? Let's check the answer. Yes, so 9 is the answer. So that's how we do the equidistant type, be it x-axis or be it y-axis. If x-axis, then y is 0. If y-axis, x is 0. So it's done. Let's come back to the exercise. So we were doing the eighth question now. Find the values of y for which the distance between them. The distance between them is 10 units. Distance is already given 10 units. So you have to find this y. Now multiple values are possible. Let's see how come. So distance is 10. Right. Again, we will have a square root. Right. x2 minus x1 ka square plus y2 minus y1 ka square is equal to 10. So you can square both sides, squaring both sides. So what will happen? The square root will get removed and then you can plug in the value 10 minus 2 ka square. plus y2, y minus 3 ka square. And 10 ka square here, that will be 100. You're squaring both sides. Now this is 8 square, this is y minus 3 square, is equal to 100. Sorry. So 8 square is 64 plus y minus 3 ka square is equal to 100. This is plus 64. So when we change the side, it will become minus 64. And 100 minus 64 is 36. So y minus 3 square is 36. Now 36 is the square of both positive 6 and negative 6. So when you take square root of this guy, it will plus minus 6. So y minus 3, 1 will time it will be equal to positive 6 and 1 it will be equal to negative 6. So y will be 6 plus 3 which is 9 and y will be minus 6 plus 3 which is minus 3. So two values are possible, 9 and minus 3, and that is the answer. Okay, let's move on to the last two questions of the exercise. We have that this point is equidistant from these 2 points. Again, same type, 0, 1 is equidistant from P, that is 5, minus 3. And we have x, 6 also. Let's find the values of x. Okay, let's find the values of x first. So if we do PQ is equal to QR, now see, you know square root will be on both sides, so it's better to remove that prior only, squaring both sides. So this will be what? 5 minus 0 squared is 5 square minus 3 minus 1 square, that is minus 4 square. And here it will be 0 minus x or x minus 0, whatever way you want to do. X minus 0 kar lo. 6 minus 1 is 5 square again, so this will cancel out, right? 0 minus 5 was minus 5 square, that is 5 square equal only. This cancel, 16 will be equal to x square, so x will come out to be equal to plus minus 4. It is asking us to also find QR and PR. Now, one time x will be taken as 4 and one time x will be taken as minus 4. So QR and PR also we have to find. Let's take one time, let's take this R as 4. If R was 4, what will be my QR? 0 minus 4 square root 0 minus 4 ka square 1 minus 5 1 minus 6 ka square, that is 4 ka square or 16 and that will be 25, that is root 41. And if it was minus 4, QR will come out to be what? 0 minus x, 0 minus minus 4, that is again 4. Doesn't matter, it's the same thing, right? So it will come out to be same. Doesn't make much difference. But if we go for PR, let's see what happens. Square root 5 minus 4, that is 1 ka square, minus 3 minus 6, that is 9 ka square, that is 81, minus 9 ka square, the same thing. So root 82. And over here, if we calculate PR when x is minus 4, so 5 minus minus 4 plus, so that will 5 minus minus 4 will come plus. So minus 3 and minus 6 ka square. So this will be 9 ka square 81 and 9 ka square 81. So twice of 81. And 81 will come out, will come 9 of root 2. So that will be the sides. So you have to find the values for both. If x is positive, so these two values. If x is negative, these two values will come. Okay, let's move on to the last question. Find a relation between x and y such that this is equidistant from the point. Okay, so we have to find the relation. What does relation means? There will be equation, some kind of equation that we'll get. Some kind of equation, let's say x minus y is equal to 2 or 3x plus y is equal to 5, some kind of equation you will get. So that is the case, so let's calculate. So we have, these are equidistant again, AB and AC. So AB is equal to AC, let's say. So I can write that AB square is equal to AC square, isn't it? So AB square is equal to AC square. So again, root, you don't have to worry about x minus 3 square and it's y minus 6 square. And over here, we'll have x minus minus, that is plus, and we'll have y minus 4 square. That is the case, a square plus b square minus 2ab, a square plus b square minus 2ab, a square plus b square plus 2ab, a square plus b square minus 2ab. X square, y square, 9. Then all the x's on one side, all the y's on one side, plus 8y, all the constant on one side. So what will happen? Minus 12x minus 4y is equal to minus 20. Can you see minus 4 is coming out common? So 3x plus y is equal to minus 20. Minus 4, we cut this with 5. And 3x plus y will be equal to 5. And that is the relation. यू सी आई गिव एन एग्जांपल बिकॉज मुझे आंसर रटे हुए, तो प्रैक्टिस इतनी करनी है कि आपको भी आंसर रट जाए, तो ये रिलेशन मिलेगा। अब ये होता क्या है ये रिलेशन एक्चुअली, इसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल में बात करते हैं। बच्चे ये जो है ना, एक ये ऐसा पॉइंट मिला है जो इक्वल दूरी पे है दोनों पॉइंट से। ये एक्चुअली एक ऐसा पॉइंट है जो दोनों पॉइंट के परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर की इक्वेशन देता है। ये जो आपने निकाला है 3x + y = 5, ये इक्वेशन है किसकी? इसके परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर की। मतलब आप इस पे कोई सा भी पॉइंट देखेंगे ग्राफ पे, तो आपको वो सारे पॉइंट इससे इक्विडिस्टेंट ही मिलेंगे, और ये वाला मिलेगा मिड पॉइंट इसका, जो इस पे लाई कर रहा होगा वो उसका बेस होगा परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर का। सो आपको याद रखना है, रिलेशन वाला क्वेश्चन जो है हमें परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर देता है, हम एग्जाम्पलर में करेंगे। ओके, चलो तो इतना रखते हैं। दैट इज द फर्स्ट एक्सरसाइज। नाउ अनदर थिंग, वी हैव अ क्वेश्चन लाइक दिस इन एग्जाम्पल। I want you to try that on your own. As you can see, this example that you have to try on your own, you will get a question like answer like x minus y is equal to 2 or minus 2, I don't know. So please do the same kind of that question. Let's move on to the next exercise then. Now, the second exercise topic is section formula. Now, whenever we have section formula, it's about sections. Now, why it is used, let's talk about that. Let's say there is a point x1, y1, and there is another point x2, y2, and this is my B point. And there is a point in between somewhere, yes, internally somewhere, not the midpoint, somewhere in between, that is dividing these two lines in ratio this, maybe 2:3, 4:5, some parts it is dividing in. There's two parts, there's three parts, maybe like that. So M1 parts and M2 parts. This is just notation followed by books. You can take any notation. So the coordinates of this point are found using these formula. Coordinates of this point, this P. What is the formula? X equal to M2 x1 plus M1 x2 over M1 plus M2. That is the formula for X guy. And for the Y guy, it is M2 y1 plus M1 y2 over M1 plus M2. And this will help you out to figure out this point X and Y, both the points. Now, this X, how we can remember this formula? 21 12 12, 21 12 12, that is one way. Another way is cross we are doing. M1 x2, M2 x1, and always the denominator is M1 plus M2. Same goes for Y, M2 y1, and M1 y2, M1 plus M2. That's how you can recall the formula. Let's take one question so that we can understand this in a better way. Let's pick it from here. Take it here so that it's front, it's up to you and you can see what is going on. So find the coordinates of the point which divides. So these are the points and it is being divided by some point. Okay, same question, AB straight line, make sure you use pencil. So P, the ratio is 2:3. So you will see what is x1, x1 is -1, what is x2, x2 is 4. What is y1? Y1 is 7. What is y2? Y2 is -3. What is m1? M1 is 2. And what is m2? That is 3. Let's plug in the value for this x and y. So x is m2 x1, m2 x1, which is 3 into -1, plus m1 x2, that is 2 into 4, over m1 plus m2, 2 plus 3. So this will be -3 plus 8 by 5, which is 5 by 5, which is 1. Let's go for the y. This is the x coordinate. Y is m2 y1, m2 y1. Remember, m2 y1 plus m1 y2, 2 into -3. And niche again there is 2 plus 3, so it's 5. 21 minus 6 by 5, which is 15 by 5, and we got 3. So these are the coordinates. 1, 3 are the coordinates of P, and that is the answer. I hope you understood. Now, there's something called bisection. Bisection means midpoint. It's very important in this exercise. First of all, we'll do midpoint formula. What happens, let's say the section is being divided now in two equal parts. And two equal parts is being divided. So what will happen that this guy will be the midpoint, right? So P will be the midpoint. X comma Y is the midpoint. This is 1:1 now. So if I try to find, I was looking for what, just a sec. It's quite a long session. Yes. So midpoint. The formula was m2 x1 plus m1 x2 over m1 plus m2. What is m2? 1. What is m1? 1. What is m1? 1. 1 plus 1. So x1 into 1 is x1 over 2. So this is the formula. So the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 by 2 for the x guy. And similarly for the y guy, it will be y1 plus y2 by 2. Because my M1 is 1 and M2 is 1, that's why this has happened. So midpoint formula is very, very important. It can be used in multiple cases. Let me show you the application of midpoint formula. Then we're gonna do midpoint formula questions first. First of all, it is used in a circle because circle has center as the midpoint. So this is radius, then center is called as the midpoint. So here you can use in triangle, the median, this median is bisecting the base. So here this guy is called the midpoint. Here this guy is called the midpoint. In parallelogram, the diagonals bisect. This is equal to this. This is equal to this. This guy is called the midpoint of both this also, this also. So we have a parallelogram. Then we'll say O is the midpoint of AC as well, and and O is the midpoint of BD as well. So that's how there are multiple uses of midpoint formula. Now let's come to the questions. We'll do the second question. Before that, we want to do question number 6. Question number 6 we're doing first. Okay. So these 4 points are the vertices of parallelogram taken in order. Very important, taken in order. That means you cannot ruin the order. If you are taking it clockwise, you take it clockwise. If you're taking anti-clockwise, you take it anti-clockwise. That means the order should be like that. You cannot have 4 comma y here and x comma 6 here. So we have to tell that if this is a parallelogram, if this is in fact a parallelogram, then what is the value of x and y? That is the question. What are the values of x and y? So you know that diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. I just told you. Midpoint formula use. So this is equal to this is equal to this. Let's say this is A, this is B, this is C and D. So first O will be the midpoint. This O is the midpoint of AC. You know this. That is the case, then the coordinates of O will be x1 plus x2. So 1 plus x by 2, y1 plus y2, 2 plus 6 by 2, which is what? Which is 1 plus x by 2 will remain as it is, and 8 by 2 is 4. Now again, O is the midpoint of BD. And if it is the midpoint, then you can have again O as 4 plus 3 by 2 and 5 plus y by 2. So this will become O 7 by 2 and 5 plus y by 2. Now these are the coordinates of the same thing. That's why they can be put equal because O के coordinates same हैं और यही O के coordinate हैं दोनों O के coordinates. So from 1 and 2 you can say that 1 plus x by 2 is equal to 7 by 2. 2 will cancel out with 2. So x will come out 7 minus 1, which is 6. In a similar fashion, 5 plus y by 2 will be equal to 4. Cross multiply. This will be 8. So y will be 8 minus 5, which is 3. And the value of y is 3. The value of x is 6. And those are the values that were required. So very easy. Let's do question number. There is one example also, something like that. So this example, as you can see, these are the vertices of parallelogram taken in order. Find the value of p. Again, there are 4 vertices that are taken in order, and d is p comma 3. So this is some kind of a parallelogram. Draw it properly, not like me. Okay. So the diagonals, the diagonals bisect like that. So again, O is the midpoint of A, B, C, D. O is the midpoint of, first of all, AC. So that is the case, the coordinates of O will be 6 plus 9 by 2, that is 15 by 2. 1 plus 4 by 2, 5 by 2, I'm doing directly. You will show it, x1 plus x2 by 2, you will show it. O is the midpoint of BD. So O will be x1 plus x2, 8 plus p by 2, and 3 plus 2 is 5 by 2. As you know that both are the coordinates of the same point, so abscissa and ordinate will be equal. Abhi we just did. So from 1 and 2 we can say that 15 by 2 will be equal to 8 plus p by 2. And that is my y coordinate. Why they are coming equal? Because this is the same coordinate. 2 will cancel out with 2. P will come out to be 15 minus 8, which is 7. So value of p is 7 and we are done. So parallelogram type is done, which is the use of midpoint. Now again, the 7th question is also the use of midpoint. So let's do that. So find the coordinates of a point where AB is the diameter of the circle whose center is 2 comma minus 3, and AB is the diameter. A I don't know, x comma y. B I do know, that is 1 comma 4. So AB is the diameter. This is equal to this. We have to find x and y. So you know that this guy is the name given, center. No, center name is not. Let's say this is O. O is the midpoint of this because this is the radius and radius. So we can have x plus 1 by 2 is equal to, isn't it? X plus 1 by 2 is equal to midpoint formula. And y1 plus y2 by 2 is equal to minus 3. So we'll get what? X equal to x plus 1 is equal to 4. So x will be 4 minus 1, which is 3. So that is the value of x. Y plus 4 is equal to minus 6, cross multiply. So y will be minus 6 minus 4, which is y will be minus 10. So coordinates of this point will be 3 comma minus 10. They can do anything. Either they can give these two and find this, or they can give this one, and they can give this one. They can give this one, and that you have to find, which is just it. They can also give this one and this one. You have to find this. So as long as you know midpoint formula, you can calculate this. So question number 7 is also done. Now let's move on to questions of trisection. And maybe in 4 parts it is being divided, maybe some parts it is divided. So let's see what is going on. Question number 2, NCRT. Find the coordinates of the point of trisection of the line segment joining 4 comma minus 1 and minus 2 comma minus 3. So there's a line joining these two, and we have AB. So whenever there is trisection, see, bisection means midpoint. So 1 point was the by 2, but point was 1. 1 less points are always there. So tri is there will be 2 points. Let's say this is P and this is Q. Trisection means all the 3 parts are equal. We have to find these 2 points, right? P and Q. Now, if you'll see very carefully, if I remove this guy, what will happen? Let's see which guy I'm talking about, 4 comma minus 1. And this is B, minus 2 comma minus 3. I'm removing Q from the entire situation. If I remove Q, what will happen? This is 1 part, 1 part, 1 part. So this is 1 part, and 1 plus 1, this is 2 parts. So ratio will be 1:2. If I remove or hide Q part, now we already know how to find the coordinates in distance formula, so we'll find that. So x will be m2 x1 plus m1 x2 over m1 plus m2. So this will be 8 minus 3 by 3, which is 5 by 3, I guess. 8 minus 2, my bad. 8 minus 2. So this will be 6 by 3, which is 2. So x is 2. Y? M2 y1. So 2 into minus 1. Be very careful by plugging the values. 1 into minus 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So minus 2 and minus 3 by 3, which is minus 5 by 3. So this is the points of this guy is 2 comma minus 5 by 3. Now be vigilant that this can be done in 2 ways. Now the point of Q that we have to find, either some students sometimes do it like this. This was minus 2 and comma minus 3. That they create this Q and they write 2:1 because it is 2 parts, they hide the P part now. So either you can do it this way, or you can do my way, which I'm telling you. What is that way? That you know the P part. What is P? P is now 2 comma minus 5 by 3. And you also know the B part. What is B? Minus 2 comma minus 3. Q is nothing but the midpoint of this. You'll observe very carefully, isn't it? See, Q is the midpoint of BP or PB, whatever you call it, because they are equal parts. These are equal parts. So you can use this, you can use midpoint formula for that. So the coordinates of Q will be x1 plus x2, 2 plus minus 2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So that will be 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 by 2 is 0. And this, don't worry about the fractions. Just take the LCM. Let's take the LCM. What will happen? 0, 3 minus 5 minus 9 by 2. So this will become what? This will be 0, comma, minus 14. And this 3 comes down and become multiplied. 2 times minus 7, 2 times 3. So the answer will be 0, comma, minus 7. This is the point of Q. And those are the coordinates of P. And we are done with the trisection. Sometimes now what can happen, so second part is also done. Sometimes what can happen that it can be divided into 4 parts, quad section, right? So if that is the scene, what will happen? Let's see. So if there is this quad section, how many points will be there? 3 points, 1 less always. Okay. So let's do the question number 9. So there are points A minus 2 comma 2 and B there is 2 comma 8. Now it is divided into 4 parts, right? So there will be 3 points PQR, let's say. I'm going to use midpoint formula only. You can use section formula if you want to, though midpoint formula is a special case of section formula itself. So what is going to happen? First of all, I'm going to find Q. Now Q is the midpoint of the AB. Two parts, right? Two parts and two parts. So 2:2. That means they are equal parts. So Q is the midpoint of AB. Q is midpoint of AB. Midpoint of. So Q is the midpoint of AB. So if Q is the midpoint of AB, let me check. Is this working? Yes. If Q is the midpoint of AB, then we can say that the Q coordinates will be x1 plus x2 minus 2 plus 2 by 2 or 2 plus 8 by 2. So this will be Q will be 0 by 2, which is 0, and 10 by 2, which is 5. So 1 is done. Q coordinates we know, which is 0, comma 5. Now observe very carefully that P is the midpoint of AQ, right? Because these two are equal parts. So again, midpoint formula. P is the midpoint of AQ. If we apply that, so P coordinates will minus 2 plus 0 by 2 and 2 y1 plus y2 by 2. So this guy will be minus 2 by 2, which will be minus 1, and 7 by 2 will be the coordinate of this guy. So if I go for the R point, this is the midpoint of QB or BQ, whatever you like to call it. R is the midpoint of QB. And if we look at QB, QB, we have to find R. So 0 plus 2 by 2 and 5 plus 8 by 2. So we'll get what? 0 plus 2 is 2 by 2, which is 1, and 13 by 2. So 1 comma 13 by 2 are the coordinates, and these are the answers. So we applied midpoint formula 3 times, we got the answer. So we have done trisection, quad section as well. Now let's move on to the ratio type where we have to find the ratio, right? Okay, first, second question was done. Now, third question and the previous exercise, there is another question that is a case study question, not simply, it will not come from the NCERT. So I will do that question maybe in the example whenever we will make the example video. Right now we are doing the ratio, that whenever we have to find the ratio. So let's say this time the point in between is given, which is given to you, and the point is minus 1 comma 6. And they ask you what is the ratio. So how we do such questions? We assume let the ratio, let the ratio. So let the ratio be K ratio 1. That means this K and this 1. Now what will happen? You apply the formula for either guy, either X or either Y, whichever one you want to. Let's say if I apply for X, which is given already, but I'm applying M2 X1 plus M1 X2 over M1 plus M2, right? So what will happen? So X is minus 1, M2. M2 is 1, M1 is K. M2, that is 1 into minus 3. And then we have K into X2, which is 6. M1 plus M2 is K plus 1. Cross multiply. When you cross multiply with minus 1, what will happen? This will become minus K and minus 1. Minus 3 and plus 6K. This plus 6K will come onto that side, and this minus 1 will come onto the right hand side. Minus 7K will be equal to minus 2. This will cancel out. K will be 2 by 7. And whatever answer you get for K, that is the ratio. That is 2 ratio 7 is the answer. So we found out the ratio, that is 2 ratio 7. Find the ratio, we have done. Find the ratio again, but this time it is being divided by x-axis. So what happens when it is divided by x-axis? So there is a point A 1 comma minus 5 and B is also there minus 4 comma 5. And it is being divided by x-axis. X-axis means where y is 0. We have to find what are the ratio is and what are these points of division. What is this x over here? So let the ratio be k ratio 1 again. Let the ratio be k ratio 1. Now we want the value to that formula to plug in where the value is given. Here also we did that. Both the values were given, so we could have applied for y also to get k. Here only y is given, so apply the formula for y. That is m2y1. M2y1, 1 into minus 5. M1y2, k into 5 over m1 plus m2, that is k plus 1. Y is 0. This is minus 5, this is 5k, and k plus 1. When you cross multiply k plus 1, this becomes 0 itself. So this will be minus 5 plus 5k. 5k came on the left hand side, 5 minus 5k. So k will be minus 5 Mhm. Minus 5. K will be minus 5 over minus 5, which is 1. So ratio will be 1 ratio 1. You can say this is the midpoint actually that we have found. Okay. So 1 ratio 1. Now we have to calculate this x also. What is this x? Now since we know that this is the midpoint, you can do x1 plus x2 by 2 also. You can use the section formula as well. So 1 plus minus 4 by 2, which is 1 minus 4 by 2, which is minus 3 by 2. So the coordinate will be minus 3 by 2 comma 0. And we are done. Same way, they can ask you that it may be the y-axis. If it is the y-axis, you write 0, comma y and apply the formula of x. It's given in the example. Try that question. Okay. So for your exercise, we have done fourth question, we have done fifth question, we have done sixth question, we have done seventh question. We're doing eighth and 10th, then the chapter will wind it up. Question number 8. If A and B are 2 points, that is minus 2, comma minus 2, and B is 2, comma minus 4, and we have that these 2 points are being divided by AP in such a manner that 3 AP is such a manner that 3 by 7 of AB. I don't know you understand this or not. इसका मतलब ये हुआ, this is 3 parts, this is 4 parts. Then only AP is 3 out of total and 7 part of AB. But if you don't understand that, I can show you also how it is done. So you can do AP. AP cross multiply this 7 AP is equal to 3 AB. Now AB is made up of what? AB is made up of AP plus PB, right? 7 AP, this will be 3 AP. And you multiply 3 with this is 3 PB. This came here. So 7 AP minus 3 AP is equal to 3 PB. This 4 AP is equal to 3 BP, PB or BP, whatever you like to call it. So AP यहीं रहा, PB नीचे आ गया, ये 3 यहीं रहा और ये 4 नीचे आ गया, राइट? सो आप देख सकते हैं रेशियो आ गया AP बाय PB कितना आ गया 3 रेशियो 4. सो आप ऐसे समझ सकते थे या फिर ऐसे भी समझिए एक्सप्लेनेशन एल्जेब्रिकली. अब आपको रेशियो पता है तो आप ये पॉइंट निकाल दीजिए. कौन से सेक्शन फॉर्मूला से? सो एक्स विल बी व्हाट m2 x1 plus m1 x2 over m1 plus m2. So m2, we have this, right? 4 into minus 2 plus 3 into 2 over 4, 3 plus 4, that is 7. So minus 8 plus 6 by 7, that is minus 2 by 7. That is my x coordinate. If I go for my y coordinate, that will be m2 y1, m1 y2, 3 into minus 4 by 7. So minus 8 minus 12 by 7, that is minus 20 by 7. So coordinates of this point are minus 2 comma 7 and minus 20 by 7. And we are done. So question number 8 is also done. Remember, such questions you have to interpret how it is going and breaking down. Now find the area of rhombus. I hope you know the area of rhombus is half into D1 into D2. I don't know whatever hint is given. You have to learn this formula. It is already done in the previous classes. Find the area of rhombus if the diagonals, if the rhombus is not like that. All the 4 sides of rhombus are equal. This 3 comma 0, this 4 comma 5, this minus 1 comma 4, and minus 2 comma minus 1. Make sure you write that in order. 3 comma 0 here, then 4 comma 5 here, or either here. Then minus 1 comma 4 will next to it. Okay, this order because it's written taken in order. So this is my D1 and this is my D2. So I'm going to calculate D1 and D2. First calculate D1 using distance formula. That is 3 minus minus, that is 3 plus 1, and 0 minus 4 ka square. So this will be 4 ka square plus 4 ka square. 2 times of 16. That will be 4 bahar aa jayega, 4 root 2. Now D2 if I find, this is this guy D2. I try to find D2. Okay, now, so D2 if you have to find, that will be minus 2 minus 4 ka square and minus 1 minus 5 ka square. That is minus 2 and minus 4 is minus 6 ka square. That is 36 plus again 36. So it's twice of 36 and 36 came out as 6 root 2. Now, let's calculate the area. Area is what? Area of rhombus is half into D1 into D2. That is 2 times 2. Now, 2 root 2 into root 2 is 2 into 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Square units will be the answer. And that finishes our exercise in the chapter. All the examples we have also done, whichever needs to be done. And now in the next video, we'll be doing the example of coordinate geometry. Thank you very much.